Hey everyone! Welcome to JC's Edu Updates. I'm JC, your trusted guide to the latest DepEd issuances, breaking education news, and everything you need to stay ahead in the world of education. If you want to stay informed, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's topic, make sure to hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the best updates. Hello guys! So for today's video, I'll be discussing to you the higher teaching positions performance requirements in the Department of Education. So this is actually relative to the issuance of our department, particularly DepEd Order number 20, Series 2024, also known as the Recruitment, Selection, Appointment to the higher teaching positions in DepEd. So for the last 3 years, DepEd issued 3 landmark policies in improving the hiring and selection process in the Department of Education. So this is actually part of improving the policy of our agency in the recruitment, selection, and appointment. So una na dyan, yung DepEd Order number 19, Series 2022, or the DepEd Merit Selection Plan, followed by DepEd Order number 7, Series 2023, or the Guidelines on the Recruitment, Selection, and Appointment in DepEd. And ito yung pinaka-recent, issued last December, yung DepEd Order number 20, Series 2024, or the Guidelines on the Recruitment, Selection, and Appointment to higher teaching positions in DepEd. So as part of our hiring and selection process, or yung tinatawag nating RSA, meron 5 steps na pagdadaanan tayo. So una dyan, yung publication of vacancies and call for application. The next step is the submission and receipt of application. Third step is the initial evaluation vis-a-vis the qualification standards. Fourth step is the comparative assessment. And finally, the appointment. Supposed to be guys, hindi ito dapat yung second episode or yung second topic that I'll be sharing to you. But because yung mga kasamahan natin sa DepEd, especially yung ating mga teachers who are actually planning to file or apply for a promotion, nag-request sila kasi ito yung medyo bago sa kanila na dapat nilang maintindihan. That's actually the initial evaluation vis-a-vis the qualification standard. Before, during the initial evaluation, ang tinitingnan lang talaga natin is the qualification standards. But now, sa process, upon receipt of the applications, the HRMO shall conduct an initial evaluation of the applicant's qualifications vis-a-vis the CSC-approved QS of the position to be filled. Specifically, CHR shall assess whether the applicants meet the minimum qualifications in terms of education, training, experience, and eligibility. What is new in the new policy or yung DepEd Order number 20 is the inclusion of the performance requirements in the conduct of initial evaluation. So, meaning to say, hindi na lang yung QS yung tinitingnan para masabi natin ikaw ay qualified or disqualified to the position being applied for. Kung makikita nyo sa screen, nahati sa dalawa, internal applicants and external applicants. So, for the internal applicants, a rating of at least BS in the rating period covering 1 year complete performance cycle in the current position shall be required. So pag tiningnan natin yung performance cycle, hindi lang siya basta 1 year ka dun sa position. Dapat from performance planning hanggang doon sa development planning or yung phase 4 ng RPMS, nasakop yun nung buong cycle based doon sa current position mo. Meanwhile, for the external applicants, so submission of comparable performance requirement, So, bakit ngayon dito sa bagong policy, allowed yung external applicants? Because this is in compliance with the EEOP or yung tinatawag nating Equal Employment Opportunity Principle. So, kasama din dito yung ating mga non-teacher applicants like the school heads, teachers in charge, related teaching and non-teaching personnel, and such other applicants who are not using the existing PPST-based IPCRF. So, kaya sila categorized as external applicants dahil yung internal, in case of the internal applicants, yung PPST-based performance yung ating hinahanap. But in the case of external applicants, what we are looking is the comparable performance requirements. So, sustained performance of at least very satisfactory in the current and previous positions shall be required, provided that the latest performance rating covering 1 year complete performance rating period is obtained in the current or latest position. Now, the table specifies the performance requirements for each position level. So, in addition to this, internal applicants shall be required to satisfy the set performance requirements of the position applied for, based on at most 3 rating periods reckoned from the immediately preceding performance cycle completed. Again, let me clarify this. Although, kahit isa lang yung ipasa mong IPCRF, and that's the most recent, yung dapat mong ipasa, as to the minimum qualification standard and performance, pasok ka. However, dapat doon sa PPST indicators, masatisfy mo yung hinihingi. No? So, isa-isahin natin. So, if you're applying for a teacher 2 position, example, isa kang teacher 1, so, as to classroom observable indicators, dapat doon sa 21, no? Sa 21 na classroom observable indicators, at least 6 proficient COIs ay very satisfactory yung rating mo. Okay? At as to non-classroom observable indicators naman po, at least 4 proficient NCOIs at very satisfactory. Now, let us clarify. Proficient because ito yung ginagamit na indicators ng ating teachers 1 to 3. Highly proficient doon sa mga master teachers natin kasi yun ang indicator na ginagamit nila. So, now, pag nag-apply ka na teacher 3, so kung teacher 1 ka, mag-apply ka as teacher 3, pwede ba yon? Pwede. Doon sa last video natin na pinakita before, pinaliwanag ko na hindi ka required na daanan yung lahat ng posisyon. Provided na na-meet mo yung minimum qualification standards plus yung ating tinatawag na performance requirement. So, makita nyo po dyan na pag mag-a-apply pala ako ng teacher 3, at least 12 proficient COIs na BS at least 8 proficient NCOIs na BS din. Paano naman kung gusto kong mag-apply na master teacher? So, kung teacher 3 ka ngayon, pwede kang dumiretso sa MT1 kasi in the absence of the qualification standards and item na teacher 4 to 7, pwede ngayon habang wala pa yung posisyon na teacher 4 or wala pa tayong item na teacher 4 hanggang teacher 7, pwedeng si teacher 3 dumiretso na sa master teacher 1. So kung ako si teacher 3 at pupunta ako or gusto ko ma-promote na master teacher, bukod dun sa kailangan kong isatisfy yung minimum QS, dapat at least yung 21 proficient COIs ay outstanding. At dun sa NCOIs ko, meron akong 8 na proficient NCOIs na BS at 8 din doon yung NCOIs na outstanding. So in this case, imposible mo na itong makuha kung isa lang yung IPCRF na ipinasa mo. Kasi dito sa DepEd Memorandum Number 8 Series 2023 or yung Multi-Year Guidelines on the Results-Based Performance Management System ng Philippine Professional Standards for Teacher, dinistribute ni DepEd across 3-year cycle yung complete 37 indicators. Meaning to say, sa year 1, hindi lahat ng 37 ay nakalagay. Meaning to say, hindi mabibilang or hindi mo kayang maipakita yung 21 na hinihinging classroom observable indicators. Kasi it will only happen pag pamula sa year 1 hanggang year 3, kumpleto yung performance rating or yung IPCRF na isinabmit mo. So, let me be clear on that, Hindi ka agad madidikyu kasi isa lang yung ipinasa mong IPCRF. And yun lang din yung magiging basis mo ng score pagdating sa performance mo. However, pagdating doon sa pag-meet ng performance requirement, kaya nga sabi ng policy, pwedeng magpasa si applicant of at most 3 IPCRF, reckoned from the date nung pinaka-latest na IPCRF or performance rating. Now, kung mapansin nyo po dito sa figure 3 ni DepEd Memo number 8 Series 2023, yung objective number 1 is nauulit siya from year 1 to year 3. So, ibig sabihin, yung 1.1.2 is applicable sa lahat ng performance rating year. So, sa school year 2022-2023 hanggang school year 2024-2025. Ngayon, ang tanong, yan ba ay bibilangin isa-isa? So, as to the idea of repeating indicators, hindi mo pwedeng pagbukod-bukoding bilangin yung pare-parehas na indicator. So, paano siya gagamitin? For example, sa school year na ito, sa 2022-2023, ang iyong rating is O or outstanding. Sa sumunod na school year, 2023-2024, outstanding ulit ang rating mo. Pagdating ng school year 2024-2025, naging very satisfactory yung rating mo. So what's the decision? Ibig sabihin, the decision is BS. Hindi ito majority wins. So kung ano yung rating mo doon sa latest rating period, yun ang i-honor. Kasi once lang siya bibilangin. So, example, nag-a-apply ka na Master Teacher 1. Sa Master Teacher 1, dapat yung 21 indicators na classroom observable, lahat outstanding. Ngayon, kahit magkaroon ka lang ng isang BS, automatically, you will be disqualified. Okay? Ngayon, yung scenario number 2, doon sa pangalawang table sa baba. Sa school year 2022-2023, very satisfactory yung rating mo. Sa school year 2023-2024, again, very satisfactory yung rating mo. Pagdating ng school year 2024-2025, nag-outstanding yung rating mo. So what's the decision? Outstanding yung i-adapt natin because that is your rating in the most recent performance rating period. So I hope that's clear. Kasi very crucial ito pagdating sa Master Teacher 1 applicants. Na kailangan lahat ng classroom observable indicators is outstanding. Kasi pag binilang nyo yan, yung 37 complete set of indicators, both for Master Teacher and Teacher, kay proficient at highly proficient, 21 of that indicators are actually classroom observable indicators. And the remaining 16 is the non-classroom observable indicators. Now, bigyan natin ng isang example. Halimbawa, ikaw ay isang teacher 1 and mag-a-apply ka sa bakanteng teacher 3. Base doon sa policy, ang performance requirements ng teacher 3 position is dapat at least 12 COIs or classroom observable indicators na very satisfactory yung rating mo. At least 8 proficient NCOIs at very satisfactory. So as an applicant, nagpasa ka lang ng 2 na IPCRF. Ang pinakamahalagang consideration doon, ang isa sa 2 yon ay yung pinaka-latest na rating period. Again, isa sa mga importanteng consideration doon sa 2 o maximum of 3 na ipapasa mong IPCRF is actually the most recent performance rating or period. So in this case, si applicant, ipinasa niya yung IPCRF niya noong school year 2024-2025, which is the most recent, at ipinasa niya rin yung IPCRF niya noong school year 2023-2024. Now, dun sa ipinasa niya, upon the initial evaluation of the HRMO or the subcommittee, nakita na during the school year 2024-2025, it shows that there are 6 proficient COIs at BS and 5 NCOIs at BS. And upon verification, sa IPCRF niya ng school year 2023-2024, it shows that there are 7 proficient COIs at very satisfactory and 6 proficient COIs at very satisfactory. Balikan natin yung performance requirements. Sabi, at least 12 proficient COIs. So, meron si applicant na 6 noong school year 2024-2025 na proficient COIs na BS at meron siyang 7 na proficient COIs at BS noong school year 2023-2024. So, 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. Therefore, qualified na siya, no? Kasi 12 lang yung hinihingi, 13 siya. Pero hindi doon natatapos kasi meron pang NCOI. Sa NCOIs niya, noong 2024-2025, meron siyang 5 na very satisfactory. During school year 2023-2024, meron naman siyang 6 na proficient NCOIs na very satisfactory. Ang hinihingi ng requirement is at least 8 proficient NCOIs at very satisfactory. Meron siyang 5 at 6. In total, meron siyang 11 proficient NCOIs na at least very satisfactory. So, meaning to say, qualified si applicant as to performance requirements. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Pero napakahirap sa actual. This is actually one of the bottlenecks namin sa HRM-PSB, particularly yung HRMO at subcommittee na nagba-validate. Kasi talagang binibilang at iniiwasang madoble yung bilang ng nauulit na indicator. Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, kung 3 beses or 3 taon ginagamit yung 1.1.2, isang beses mo lang siya ika-count. At ang performance rating na i-adapt mo ay yung pinaka-recent. Okay? So, let me be clear on that. Now, in the case of our external applicants and non-teacher applicants, ito yung performance requirement na susundin natin. If you're planning to apply for Teacher 2 or Special Needs Education Teacher 2, kasi sabi nga natin kanina, hindi required na Teacher 1 yung applyan ng isang external applicant o yung non-DepEd applicant. In fact, as long as they are qualified to the minimum qualification standards and masatisfy nila yung performance requirement na hinihingi natin, pwede sila na mag-apply, no? So, again, for Teacher 2 and Special Needs Education Teacher 2, at least BS in the latest rating period covering 1 year complete performance cycle. So, for Teacher 3 or Special Needs Education Teacher 3, at least VS in the last 2 immediately preceding rating periods, each covering 1 year complete performance cycle. So, for applicants for teachers 4, 5, 6, 7, master teachers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and special needs education teacher 4 and 5, at least BS in the last 3 immediately preceding rating periods, each covering 1 year complete performance cycle. And finally, for our special science teacher 1 and special needs education teacher 1, both entry level of the job group, walang performance requirement na hinihingi. So, I hope this performance requirement doon sa ating higher teaching position is clear na sa atin ngayon. So, with that, thanks for tuning in to today's episode of JC's Edu Updates. I hope you found this topic helpful. If you've got any questions or thoughts or requests for a topic that you want me to share, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on everything happening in education. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired, and keep making an impact in the world of teaching. See you in the next video.